like watching the blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason and Win and a trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world, y'all know Jerry Jones. Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason Win and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world, y'all know Jerry Jones. Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason Win and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world, y'all know Jerry Jones.
Route, man. I want to know, man.
We the 5-time Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. There's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason Win and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world, y'all know Jerry Jones.
What the first INT to the house gonna look like? What?
We the 5-time Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go. Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason Win and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world, y'all know Jerry Jones. Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the Freak. And number 50, the General Lee. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget, Jason Win and the trip bets. This is one.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does.
Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to
Hey, what up, y'all? It's that time of the year again for our annual gala. On June 8th, we will be hosting our 2019 Diamonds and Pearls Gala down in Davie, Florida. You can purchase tickets or find out more information on 88blessings.org. On top of honoring our single moms, we will also be honoring Lori from Make Our School Safe. I hope to see you all there. Much love.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. Woo! Busting up in your Monday. It's end of the day report. It's 4:30. We are on time, so you should be on time yourself. You know what I'm saying? So hey, let's get everybody clocked in. Hit your notifications. Make sure you get your share through so that we can make sure we get this information out there to the nation, man. If I'm live in the building, you guys already know I'm going to have a couple folks in the comment box, and I'm going to have one of my Cowboy cousins on the line. So y'all say what up to Boss Cowboy, man. What up with your day, man?
Hey, what's going on, West Coast, man? Like, obviously, very big breaking news day, right?
Yeah, I mean, man, I hate breaking news, man.
On a lot.
I hate breaking news for the Dallas Cowboys because it's like this, man. Any breaking news for the Dallas Cowboys inside of off season, I can almost guarantee you is bad news. You know what I'm saying? Like there's really, huh?
Can you say it one more time for me, please?
I said any breaking news in the Dallas Cowboys that comes in the off season, I can almost guarantee you 90% of the chance it is going to be bad news. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. Or it's gonna be some BS. Or, you know, it's just what it is, man. I mean, I don't know why we can't have an off season of just everybody just go to church, go to a couple parties. I mean, go to the party on Saturday, go to the church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they do it like we used to do it, Boss Cowboy?
Okay.
You can't because they have cameras everywhere. But I mean,
exactly. You know, because let's just be honest, you wasn't always in church.
You know what? I was not, but you know, I will say this, man. We always found a way to make sure we didn't get it on.
You out there, right?
Oh no, but I mean the thing about us is the one thing about these kids that today is, man, you know, they also don't have cameras everywhere. You know, when we was growing up, I mean, shoot, I'm only 36. So I mean, I think I'm 36, 1982, right? Yeah. All right, so yeah. Even then, bruh, like, you know, we had a little bit of cameras, but I can only imagine, like, Zeke right now, man, like, bruh, there's a camera there's a million cameras. At least, if there's 5 people in the room, there's at least 5 cameras in the room. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact.
I can say this. How old is Zeke? Just approximately.
24?
24? If cameras followed me when I was 24, just waiting on me to make a mistake, they would have found it. They would have found it.
Yeah, man.
They would have caught something.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have been monitoring the page pretty good. But I mean, it happened Saturday night. Saturday night, Ezekiel Elliott. It was reported. Well, actually, it was Saturday night. Technically, Sunday morning because it was Sunday at 3:00 in the morning. So it's technically Sunday. Ezekiel Elliott got into a little shoving match with a security guard. Obviously, he playing for the home team because the security guard wasn't going to press no charges, even though he flopped all over the place. I was going to show the video again, but I think everybody has seen the video now. So for presidents, I'm done with it. You know, it's like, you know, I didn't get my input on it. You know, so I mean, if you want to see more on it, make sure you hit the page. But man, I'm not about to show it right now because we basically, y'all know how we get down. We believe in the what rule? We believe in the 80-20 rule, right? So we're going to talk about the problem 20% of the time, and then we're going to talk about 80% of the time. We're going to talk about what? Fixing the problem or a contingency plan or figuring out a way to get around this. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's just go into we're not about to make this an all about Zeke show. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to do that because I don't think the issue is that big of an issue. But, you know what I'm saying? Because of our rule, the 80-20 rule, I do want to talk about some contingency plan if some stuff does happening. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to hype y'all to some facts right now.
as of right now, there is not one running back. If something was to happen to Ezekiel Elliott, I don't think no 6 game or anything like that. But I'm just saying 1 or 2 gamer. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna go on the bad side of the worst case scenario. I'm gonna deal with the worst case scenario more than the best, because at best, Michael Bennett damn near knocked the woman's head off trying to get onto the field to go see his brother, and they charged him a felony. It got dropped and nothing even happened of him. You know what I'm saying? So the best case scenario is it just gets knocked, it get dropped, and nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the worst case scenario. Why? Because I want to make sure that the scouts, the serious Cowboy fans out there uncovering truth, and the folks who support Boss Cowboy, we want to make sure that we don't get blindsided. You know what I'm saying? If something does happen, that we are prepared. So let's just look at this. Let's just look at this. Not the statistics. Let's just look at the facts right now. With Rod Smith signing with the New York Football Giants, I'm not mistaken, right? That currently means that the only running back that was in our system last year was Darius Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Because and also we got the fullback who wasn't very too high on, but who ended up getting a 3-year deal. That was kind of weird to me. But we also have him in the fold, but I don't really count him very much because he didn't really do much for us last year. You know what I'm saying? So if something was to happen and Zeke was to not be able to was not available for a few games, I think it's gonna have to fall on this rookie. It's gonna have to fall on these rookie running backs that we just brought in. And my boy Tony is nice, but I heard someone battling using Tony as trying to use them to be as their example on why we gonna be okay, but they were actually quoting the other dude's stats. What was the other guy named? Not Darius. No,
Henderson.
Henderson. You know what I'm saying? So I think Memphis's every down back was the Henderson kid that the Rams drafted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, with this happening with Zeke, it's kind of like remember all those little rumbles about possibly taking a running back early, and we kind of shushed them stuff down, like there's no way we could do it. But I'm not saying that this, Cowboys knew about this because they're not mind readers, but I'm just saying it's crazy how all that happens, right? What are your thoughts, man?
Well, since we're dealing with worst case scenario, I'm going to read the decision that came out from the NFL with Zeke's suspension. Everybody knows about number 1, and this is on my page, but most people don't know about number 2. So number 1 is what we all know about. Number 1 says this: you are hereby suspended without pay for 6 regular season games, subject to appeal. So everybody know about that.
Right.
Everybody knows about that. What most people glossed over was number 2. And number 2 says this: you must have no further adverse involvement with law enforcement.
I'm working hard right now to get that up so we can. But go ahead and keep that reading. I'm gonna have that up in like 2 seconds.
And must not commit any additional violations of league policies. In that respect, you should understand that another violation of this nature may result in your suspension or potential banishment from the NFL. So, we looking at worst case scenario. I don't think this is going to happen, but we looking at worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is potential banishment from the NFL, especially when you look at the first sentence which says you must have no further adverse involvement with law enforcement. So and the worst part about it is that it's vague. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's broad to where it leaves a lot of discretion up to Goodell.
Exactly. And
that's the worst part about it. The best part about it is if you're trying to look at this legally, which is really not even legal, it's all up to Goodell, right?
Exactly.
When you see words like may, they giving themselves an out. This nature may result, so they're giving themselves an out in your suspension. Then they say or, right? So they saying we can suspend you still, or we can go up to total banishment.
Absolutely.
So this more than likely go in the category of potential suspension. Now, we're not trying to scare you. We just trying to give you the facts. You know?
Yeah, and that's what and remember here at Dallas Cowboys Scouting, we're not just going to report just the positive, and we're not just going to report the negative. We're going to report, we feel that it is our duty, if we present anything that's negative, that we also present an alternative. So, a contingency plan. Why? Because, as soon as Jerry Jones saw that video, you know what he instantly started doing? Exactly what we're doing right now. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're not going to run a business under the assumption that everything is going to be peaches and cream. Be honest with you, like I always say, when you run a business, you're going to run the business under the assumption that 50% of the stuff that you try to do probably not going to work. Why? Because most of that stuff is not going to. You know what I'm saying? Now, we understand also that the NFL said, I don't even say the NFL said, because I have yet to hear Roger Goodell say out of his mouth that, that they are not, that they saw this video and that nothing's going to come out of it. What a lot of times teams will do is when a situation happens, just like the Brooklyn Nets did when D'Angelo Russell got caught with marijuana about a month ago, what did they say? They acknowledge that they understand the situation, and they understand that there's a situation going, and at this time they had no further comment. The NFL is not gonna within 2 days of the information come out and say, "Oh, we saw it and there was nothing coming of it." They're not gonna do that. They're gonna do their due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Now, I obviously will understand that the NFL will put a statement of acknowledgement out there saying that they know about the situation. Yeah, they know about it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime an NFL player is that intoxicated and it's on camera, I can guarantee you're going to get a call from somebody, because that within itself falls under the personal conduct.
Yes, conduct.
And this is the thing, like, I don't want y'all to, and Mike Fisher said a dope statement today, and he said this: if you look at the video and you say, "Oh, Zeke did nothing wrong," people say, "Oh, you're a homer. You're a homer. You're just a homer." And then guess what? When you look at the video and you say, "Well, damn, he could have differed differently," they say, "Oh, you're an Eagles fan. You're an Eagles fan." No, man, I'm a freaking human being, bruh. Like me and Boss Cowboy always say, like, we understand what happens in life, but that's not going to stop us from being human beings and thinking about situations ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And when I say conduct is such a broad.
Yeah. So it gives Goodell just so much leeway to do what he want to do. So, and a couple of things, because a lot of people didn't keep up with what happened with Tiffany Thompson. So I'm going to do a small real recap on that, because I heard people say stuff like, "But he's not guilty, but he wasn't arrested." I want everybody to understand, Zeke wasn't guilty the first time too. And he was cleared by 2 police forces on that. And even Keel Roberts, who worked under Goodell, interviewed Tiffany Thompson, and his own people, a person that actually interviewed Tiffany Thompson, said it's just too much discredit in her own statement.
Yeah.
We should not move forward with a suspension on Zeke. What did he do anyway?
And he still suspended him.
So I don't want us to also be naive, like, "Oh, ain't nothing gonna happen." I mean, nothing, but I do have good news too. And we gonna get to that, but we just dealing right now with the bad, like this. But
this is the contingency plan. We're talking about the contingency.
Yeah. So it's a chance, and you also got to understand also that it's not just Goodell versus Jerry either. This thing is bigger than that. This is also about the other owners who also hate Dallas, who also hate New England. Mm-hmm. So they actually lobby Goodell to put pressure on us, and you have to ask yourself, because see, most people don't know what really happened with Gregory. Like, if you look at Gregory in detail, not the headline stuff, if you look at the details of what really happened the second time Gregory had that marijuana failure, he actually was at his drug rehabilitation. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Shout out to high school. Shout out to whatever high school you went to.
Yeah, I couldn't say the word, whatever.
That's what I said. What's your high school? What high school you go to?
Where he had to take a urinalysis every week.
And he failed.
So they knew he was clean, but he just missed the test.
Yep.
It was about not being able to get out there to it, but they counted it as a missed
test.
Even though they could have went right there and got his real urine from the lab where he was actually staying, because he was having to take a piss every week. And then the one that he just so-called failed, he really didn't fail a drug test like the headlines say. What really happened was that he didn't comply fully with the full agreement.
He didn't check in.
And check in. So basically, every time he's supposed to leave the house, he's supposed to check in. I mean, him being a man, him being human.
Him being 25 years old. Being 25-year-old millionaire. What are you talking about? I can easily see how that could happen.
You pulled one of these one time, man, they got me messed up, man. I'm sure I got to go see my sister. She having some problem with her boyfriend. I'm out. I ain't got time to call. You pulled that one time, you just violated.
Violated, yep.
So it's the details. So when we look at the details, but we basically gave you all the bad news. The bad news is that more than likely he's facing two options: suspension or banishment. We're not thinking it's gonna be banishment. We're thinking it's gonna be suspension.
Absolutely.
But it's a chance. I want to say this as a positive note. It's a chance this can be nothing at all.
Exactly.
So,
and that's Boss Cowboy.
A trend also. It looks like the NFL. We're gonna talk about marijuana in a second, but I'm starting to see a trend of where the NFL looking like they want to stay away from
exactly. And this, I got the article up right now, and that's why I keep telling you. I know we got some people in the inbox who do not understand that we're talking about a contingency plan. So it's not that anybody is excited, but in business, you always look at one side of the coin, then you look at the other side of the coin. So we feel that if we're going to bring this information to you, that we should give you both sides of the coin. So it's not that we're overacting, it's just that we're being very thorough. There we go. We're being very thorough.
Yeah,
so
because there's going to be a lot of bad information out there.
Exactly. Now, on the other side of the coin, when I see stuff like this, and this ain't old, bruh. This is April. This is from April 3rd, 2019. So this is recent.
Yes.
All charges against NFL player Michael Bennett dropped in Texas. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. They overcharged him when they gave him a felony. Like, slap yourself. Like, come on, bruh. Like, I question why the police officer gave him a felony, but this is not a political show. But I'm just saying that ain't got nothing to do with him being an Eagle. That ain't got nothing to being a football player. That just got to be with the fact that how do you be walking down the stairs and accidentally push somebody, no physical injuries, and they result in a felony? That's weird to me. But whatever. Either way, I can see a misdemeanor, but a felony. Like, no, I don't understand that. All right, but either way, the charges were dropped, and as of now, be honest with you, there hasn't been no suspension or anything for Michael Bennett. And if I'm not mistaken, he's been traded twice since the whole situation's happened, because he went to Philly, and then now he's with New England, right?
Yeah, he's in New England.
Yeah, he's New England. So I mean, it hasn't even stopped teams from like lightweight pursuing him, even though I think. I can't stand the Bennett brothers, to be honest with you. But but it hasn't stopped teams from using him and acquiring his talents. And most importantly, I haven't heard nothing from the NFL about them possibly suspending him. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear stuff like this, like when I hear stuff and I see stuff like this gives me hope, man. Like, this gives me hope. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit of hope. I'm being honest on my projections. I'm 20% nothing, 80% something punitive from Goodell. But 20%, I still take those chances. And they saying it's buffering more than likely because you're on that site.
Oh, let me get up off here.
But yeah, I say 20% because I have to also look historically at Goodell's judgments on us versus others. So when you bring up, Philly, that gives us reason to hope. But then, there's a chance that Goodell could be Goodell. But I am seeing a pattern that, to me, overall, that the NFL is looking like they want to get out of Goodell being the Punisher. Because to be honest, that's the only thing that's really bringing down his legacy. In terms of the growth of the NFL, everybody like him.
Yeah, because everybody's making money. I mean, even the Browns. I mean, think about this, man. Think about you're going to be considered the NFL commissioner who brought the Browns back, bruh.
Yeah.
Like he brought reinsurgence to the Cleveland Browns. Like that within itself, you know what I'm saying? That within itself lets you know that he knows how to run a business. But I just exactly what you said, man. I think the NFL has to find a way to get him out of the punishment business.
Yeah, and I think it looks like that's where they're going, because the next subject I'm pretty sure we go to address is the breaking news that they just had on marijuana. You know, and when you look at what they're doing right now, I don't want to go ahead of that, but just going back to Zeke, we in a very, very, very like 50-50 kind of situation where hopefully the NFL is like moving on from this.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that Goodell could say, okay, this is my last hurrah. Let me go in here and slap Jerry real quick one last time before we move on, you know? And they gonna probably throw something at him 2-4, because there's some people saying, oh, he didn't get arrested and this and that, so y'all overreacting. It's like, you gotta understand what the contract says. Y'all thinking legal. You gotta see what the contract says. What? Conduct. So was it just a push? No. He also grabbed his girlfriend. Right?
He was also drunk in public.
And public intoxication. So you can say, oh, that's nothing. If you read, and I have it, and I'll put it on my page, what they said, one of the major reasons for the first suspension was him pulling down his friend's top.
Yeah. Now, I know, but that's the biggest misconception. But you know what? Boss? That's like the biggest misconception that people, when they say Zeke got suspended for domestic violence. No, he didn't.
No, it was conduct.
No, it was for conduct. He didn't get suspended for domestic violence. Like, he did not actually get suspended for hitting a girl, because he didn't actually hit a girl. You know what I'm saying? They suspended him for the conduct, for basically a bunch of behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Now, the domestic violence, that was the tip that tipped the cup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was the conduct. It was the different situations that added up. And that's why they suspended Ezekiel Elliott.
Exactly. So don't get it, because if you thinking legal, oh, he didn't push her. Oh, it was. I mean,
no athlete. Reuben Foster didn't get any legal problems. Nobody gets in legal problems. Why? Because only reason you get in legal problems, I'm gonna keep it 100, is because you ain't got money. 100, like, you know what I'm saying? At that level, if you got legal problems, it's because you ain't got money. NBA hot boy just went to jail again, and he already out. You know why? Because he got money. You know what I'm saying? He got money.
Right. So we in a wait and see on Zeke. I still feel encouraged about it. You know, I think, it's that's why I still say I want to wait till Friday to make sure that there's not a national media storm on this. But if this seems to kind of blow over, there's a chance that they might just, sweep this under the rug and just say, we tired of, drama with us being the police of our players' behavior.
Man, I'm really hoping that I'm really hoping that that the NFL is trying to get out of the punitive business. It definitely looks like they lightweight getting into the marijuana business though. Because today, let me see if I can get this quote up here real quick. All right, I'm gonna get this quote up here. All right, it says NFL and NFLPA announcing new mental health and pain management initiatives. Each team will retain a medical health professional who will work as the team's facility. A new pain management committee will research alternative therapies, potentially including weed. Say it right. Marijuana.
I would say weed, man.
The devil's lettuce, the sticky icky, the green tuna. You know what I'm saying? The Bubba Kush. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All that in there and above. So I'm gonna read it one more time. NFL, and this is from Dan Gazzarano. I think he's like an ex. I forget what he is, but he got a blue check. So NFL and NFLPA are announcing a new mental health and pain management initiative. Each team will retain a mental health professional who will work at the team facility, and a new pain management committee will research alternative therapies, potentially including marijuana. So when you hear that, brother, let's break that down in kind of two parts, man. What are your thoughts on that, real quick? What are your thoughts on that?
Positive and negative. Positive because they are now signaling that they're open for marijuana to be a medical alternative to pain. The negative is when you start saying we're researching, right? So when you write that we're researching, you're not definitive, right? You're not literally putting it out there like we've concluded. Okay. The good news is that it's obviously a move in the right direction, and I think they're gearing up for the CBA. Because I don't think they want to actually do it, because like my boy Ken just reminded me, yeah, I wrote about this 4 months ago about what we said old strategy. Like, this is when Gregory just got in trouble. This is when Irving, this was the day before Irving, went public and smoked on camera, on social media. And even then, we were saying on this show, a strategy that we should consider is buy and hold, because by 2020, they're going to more than likely get rid of it altogether as something to be tested in the league. So I don't think they're going to do it in 2019. I think they signaling that we're getting ready to have that discussion. And one of the scouts had a real good comment on the thread the last time we had the discussion. This is obviously something that they're going to hold in their leverage bag when they get to the CBA negotiations. Why would you give this away now when you can hold this for something later?
Yeah,
right?
Because they're only gonna give this it's gonna be a compromise. Like, they're gonna give on this, but they're gonna take on something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a law. Like, yeah, we'll let you pass. You can drive 50 miles an hour on Thursdays, but on Wednesdays you can only drive 10. Like, there's always, in every single law, there's a compromise. And I'm gonna tell you right now, with the marijuana laws, a lot of people are finding that out here in California, that for their business, it wasn't technically better for them to be legal. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're having to pay $60, $70, $80 to $100,000 a month in taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you pay with cash, they could hide it.
Exactly. There's a whole lot of stuff you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially in California, since the tolerance was so low that it was damn near legal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they didn't really need to make it legal. They just needed to make it more tolerable. Because now that it's legal, it's regulated like everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything else. And I know people regret that. I know people regret it.
And that is something I can probably say that most people wasn't talking about at all. I didn't hear anybody talking about that, but me and you, Wes. I mean, just me and you was talking about that 4 months ago.
You know what triggered it? New England. Remember New England? Remember when New England wouldn't let Josh Gordon go?
It was one of our conversations. I don't remember exactly what triggered it, but I remember it was something. But we put it out there that as a strategy, looking forward to 2020, it wouldn't, like, everybody, because everybody then was, fire Gregory, let him go, he's a dumbass, and excuse me, that's my one curse word. But let him go, he's a dummy, and Irving, he's an idiot. Like, and I asked that question in my article. You can go to www.bosscowboy.com and you can read it. And I asked the question. I said, if marijuana was not tested, would you want Irving and Gregory?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to ask another question, and is everybody listening? If marijuana wasn't tested, would you wait a year for Irving and Gregory?
I'd wait for Gregory. Irving, I don't know if the mental's going to be there, bro, because, like, honestly, I don't even like talking about David Irving because he don't even look like a football player no more, bro. David Irving damn near look like my size, bro.
At this point,
I don't know what diet he on.
I'm going to say this, and I agree with that, bro.
That dude is like he's probably I ain't 200 pounds. I'm like 193.
Irving right now, he talked himself out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, he like 220 something.
He keep talking like Irving. The best thing that Irving, if he had some real friends, if he had some real homies, if he had some real brothers,
like, get the hell off social media,
bro. Oh, shut up, bro. Like, for real, like, shut up, bro. Like if you just be quiet, bro. By 2020, you're playing, bro.
Back in the league.
They don't pay you, but the fact that you're looking like a public hippie, you actually hurting the movement. You know what I mean? If you sit back, the wheels is already rolling in your favor to get back in the league. But you bring it up like he brought up today. West Coast didn't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, bro, because it's like there's two ways you can handle business, bro. You can handle it the ghetto way, or you can handle it the corporate way. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you gotta understand. You gotta understand who are you dealing with. You're not dealing with no ghetto dudes, bro. You dealing with billionaires, man, and billionaires don't respond to IG. Like they don't even hear. And I'm gonna tell you, Roger Goodell probably don't even see the video. But all he sees is a report, and he was on social media.
Yep, he's trending at
like, bruh, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many. Because my thing is like you can't tell me that David Irving wants to be in the league as bad as Randy Gregory. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe it. Because David Irving could be right now in Canada making just as much money as he was making in the NFL because he had not signed no major deal. Like, he could easily be in Canada making at least something to provide his family, but he out here with me in California. I'm about to bump into him in Hollywood. I bet not bump into David Irving in Hollywood.
I would definitely hold for sure for Gregory.
Heck yeah, I will.
You know what I'm saying? With Irving, I think he actually talked himself out of it, especially, you know, my pet peeve.
Somebody gonna give him a chance, though.
Your unit, bro. When you speak against your unit, like, I don't know if y'all saw my boy tweet today, but he started comparing himself and start basically to...
You talking about David Irving?
Yeah.
Oh, you said your boy. I would have said, I ain't tweet you.
No, not you. Like, David Irving, but... Like, he did what we call dry snitching.
Snitching, bro. I was so pissed, bro.
He literally went out there and said, you know, Gregory got in way more trouble than me.
That's exactly what he said. He said, but people don't even know that 94 got way more suspensions than me. I'm like, time out. That's not even...
You spoke against the unit, bro.
That's shady.
You can't do that, bro. Because Gregory is working to get back in. You done already X'd yourself out. Why you bringing up this man?
Yeah, and the cool thing about David Irving is, I forget what conversation we was watching, but remember, you know, we were talking about David Irving. He was like, he's the type of guy where he's gonna do just enough. He always gonna do just enough. So it's like, to be honest with you, even if David Irving would have never got caught smoking weed or got suspended, he would have never been who we thought that he want to be. You want to know why? Because of this exact statement. And after this, we're switching the subject because he's already took up too much of my time. When David Irving said the coaches didn't like that he could go to club and roll out of bed drunk and not even sober and go in and go produce, and they didn't like that, I'm like, bro, are you kidding me, bro?
It's kind of true, though, bro.
Like, bro, I don't care. But see, the thing about it is, truth is not entitlement, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's entitlement. Like, that's a situation that you're supposed to find out because you accidentally did it. That's not something you're supposed to be budgeting around. Oh, yeah, I can do this. Because guess what that means? Bro, you were not going to be the best David Irving. That means we were just seeing a shell of him. That means David Irving been robbing us this whole time. That's what it means. That's what it sounds like. Because if he can do that without practicing, imagine the David Irving we would have had if he would have locked in.
Yeah, I'm not going to make no case for David Irving. We can move on.
Yeah, man, that dude is a waste of air, bro. Like, that to me, that's a waste of air, bro.
I'm not making no case for him, bro. I'm not. I like him as a player, but I'm not making no case for him because I really want him to be quiet and to be quiet for himself, not to be quiet about us. You know, hey, you already moved on. You're not with us, so you're not even a Dallas Cowboy. I'm cool with that.
And now you're throwing the team under the bus?
Your family. I want you to shut up, bro. Like, be quiet, bro. Like if you just be quiet going forward, you can mess around and get a job once they change this policy.
Yep. Because you're going to be the first one they call.
You're going to be the first one they call, but if they not going to call you, you're going to get treated like Dez. Because that's what really killed Dez. Dez play didn't kill Dez. What killed Dez is when he sat down with James Slater and he said to everybody, you Gary guys and all this and stuff. Yep. Yes, more than likely what you said has some truth in it, but what you sent to all the other owners is if we got to cut this guy, he go do exit interviews with the national media and he go run everybody under the rug.
Yep, you know? And guess what? Every organization know they got dirt. That's period. Point blank.
Everybody know they got dirt. So, and obviously I love Dez and would still want him on the team, but I'm also looking at it from a business side. If I'm the owner and I know I got a brand that I'm trying to sell out here in the market, I'm going to be very conscious of how my brand is marketed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things to where I think that's where David Irving is killing himself. He's talking too much, just like my boy Dez.
Exactly, and then you have great examples of Dallas Cowboys like Jaylon Smith going back to Notre Dame this week and getting his degree, finishing that up. Like, you have situations like that, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I see Jaylon Smith doing stuff like that, that's very, very smart, right? So I know for a fact Jaylon Smith, he about to get his money's worth.
Oh God, yeah, he paid.
Jaylon Smith's about to get paid. Like, I don't want y'all to think that boo-boo the food stuff that work on everybody. That's not gonna work on Jaylon Smith. Like, he about to get paid.
Right. Yeah, that negative leak stuff.
Yeah, that because there's nothing that you can leak negatively about Jaylon Smith.
They leak stuff like, oh, he's being greedy.
Like, what exactly? What leverage are you going to be able to use? An injury?
Yeah, he's too good of an example. He's too good of doing it all the right way. And I ain't even just talking about being a good person, because to me, too many people too stock in that. That boy played good football.
Yeah.
and he set the tone. Like, you want that guy that go take out the leader of the other team like he took out Kamari. When he took out Kamari and Kamari got up drunk from that hit, he was walking like this, West Coast, you got to look at the camera, bro.
I see you.
You got to pay a guy like that. So, yeah, you're right. Those shenanigans not going to work on him.
All right, now, since we got Jaylon Smith, since we talking about Jaylon Smith, I wanted to bring up a guy who just got like ridiculously played that plays the same position. And honestly, this actually has to do with Dak Prescott too. This has to do with anybody that has the potential to play better next year. And that's one CJ Mosley. So I got CJ Mosley's money up right now. Bro. They gave this dude a wide receiver. This dude got a wide receiver contract, bro. 5 years, $85 million, $7 million the day he signed. $7 million the day he signed. $17 million average.
Yeah, he killed.
Guaranteed salary, $43 million. $51 million in guaranteed money. Bro, for a linebacker? And then think of this. He 27. Whoo.
Yeah, you want to do Jaylon now. That's why they talk.
That's why they paying. Go ahead.
Yeah, you do not want to deal with Jaylon next year. No. I mean, if you can get it done now, that would be some sweet news for everybody. Because like you say, and I know the point you're trying to make, and the point is, every time a linebacker is enumerated, which means getting paid, the next guy that's up
get stacked out.
That's what it is. And that's the market. You know, like, very rarely do it go backwards. Occasionally it does, but when you young like Jaylon, it don't happen.
Hey, one of my scouts, hey, throw Jaylon Smith's stats in there, because you're all going to be mad. You want to know why? Because Jaylon Smith, lightweight, had a better season than last year.
So he getting paid.
He had more tackles than he. Jaylon Smith had 4. Oh, my God. Bro, Jaylon Smith had 4 sacks and like 100 and something tackles last year. And he had the fumble and the touchdown.
Yeah, like where he looked like a jet.
Bro, Jaylon lightweight. Like, if you're trying to say that Jaylon, just because he only did it for a year, I'm not caring. Jaylon Smith got 2 years on this dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Jaylon Smith's going to be at least a $17, $18 million linebacker, man.
That's just what it is. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, when you can't be top of the market and be like, I'm gonna take a team-friendly discount. You can't. You can't be a top of the market performer.
Your agent's not even gonna let you do that. Like, your agent's not gonna let you do that.
Yeah, your agent is not gonna let you do that. Your agent.
Why would the agent let you do that to me? Like, if I'm your boss cowboy, you're the player, right? And you want to take less money, and then you're gonna tell me we're gonna take less money. I'm gonna be like, bro, what do you mean we're gonna take less money?
Right, because they do get a commission. People don't know.
Yes.
That.
So now you're taking that out of my pocket. What do you mean we're gonna take less money?
Yeah, no. And this is the number one reason they not gonna do it. Because the budget is already out there that Dallas is right now sitting on for next year, 80 to 90 million.
Yeah.
Like, why would I take a team-friendly discount when I know you're sitting on cash?
That defense, that basically. So basically, if you want me to take a team friendly deal, if I'm your agent, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be like, Boss Cowboy, yo, they're gonna have $85 million next year. Why don't they want to spend that on you?
Right. Exactly. Get it
Like,
on.
what are they waiting for? What are they saving it for?
You gotta say, because most of their players are already paid too. By the end, Dak go be paid, then Cooper go be paid, and then Cooper go be cap relief this year.
Yeah, because he's at 13 right now.
Yeah, so he could be cap relief when they finally take care of him. So yeah, you gotta pay him. He not taking no discount.
I got some people saying you can sign him for $12 to $13 million. I don't believe that.
Way.
No way.
It's possible, bro. Like, let me check these threads out.
No way.
$13 million?
No way.
When you just saw somebody you better than.
Think about this. Sean Lee's supposed to be getting paid 10 this year. But Sean Lee, if they did not restructure him, would be making $10 million this year. Anthony Hitchens is going to make $9 million this year. Bro, you think Jaylon Smith is going to? No. I've said this. I've been telling y'all. The Dallas Cowboys are about to have two $17 and $18 million linebackers. And LVE, oh my God, bro.
I mean, I'm going to say this, and hopefully y'all get it, but I'm going to say it and just hopefully you take it. When you're talking about these market contracts, we say stuff like you got to win a Super Bowl first, or you got to get a ring, or you got to be, Pro Bowler or something like that. None of that's it. You have to basically be ranked within the top three generally, and I'm not talking quarterback. A quarterback is different. Quarterback, you just have to be considered franchise. But when you any other position, if you top three, it's just about who's next. It's about who's next. It's because the market forces itself pushes that contract up.
All right, man. I got Jaylon Smith's stats up. Jaylon is killing C.J. Mosley, bro.
Yeah, he getting paid, no doubt.
Like, he has more interceptions. Jaylon has 3 more sacks than him. He has 19 tackles more than him. He has 22 solo tackles than him. He has 1 interception and touchdown more than him.
Oh, I see what Bob Hicks saying. He's saying you can get him now for that. Yeah, that's possible.
For 12 to 13? Honestly, if I'm Jaylon Smith and I just saw C.J. Mosley, no way.
Yeah, I'm going to see it. But
there's no way.
It's better.
No way.
It's more realistic this year because this was really like his first real good year. But if he put 2 good years behind
that, no way. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Jaylon Smith, I'm betting on myself. You want to know why? Because
I'm betting on myself.
Yeah, because you think about this. The first year was my rookie season. Then the second year, and I told you guys, if we don't draft LVE and he's playing behind Sean Lee, bro, he probably has 170 tackles, 180 tackles. He still got 121, which was 12th best in the NFL, and he still had LVE, who was number 2 beside him. Bro, we about to have a very expensive defense. So that's why it lets me know that, like, how much, if you have Chris Richard, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm about to go on a bunny trail like a mug. I'm about to just smack you all in the face from nowhere. Like, you're going to be like, West Coast, where did that come from? But I'm going to be honest with you. Knowing that I'm about to have 2 linebackers at $17 and $18 million, and I got Chris Richard, I'm sorry, bro. I'm banking this year that he can make me a legion of doom of cornerbacks, cheap corners, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to play D-Law, because Robert Quinn's getting 8, D-Law's getting 30. He going to get 21 going forward. Then you going to have your 2 linebackers, 18 and 19. Bro, I can't afford to have no $14 million goddamn cornerback. And that also explains the reason why I couldn't afford to have no $15 million Earl Thomas back there.
My boy Richard asks, you don't think he would take a little less with more guarantee for us taking a chance?
No, because he took a chance on himself. No, because no. We're
not laughing at you. I'm just laughing we say it at the same time.
No,
so it's because mostly he out of it. This is negotiation between the
agent. Yeah, like they don't even remember what DeMarcus Lawrence said. DeMarcus Lawrence said I haven't talked to him.
Yeah, so it's and the agent is not gonna do it. So it's the agent that's gonna be negotiating, and really it's almost like this: if you get a lawyer, you gonna represent yourself.
Yeah. And then my thing is this. Think about this. Lyle Collins.
And then you go do all the talk.
Boss Cowboy, think about this. Lyle Collins, we took a chance on him, and we paid him. We gave him a 3-year deal. Nobody drafted him. He didn't get drafted because of his little murder case. Not little murder case, but the case that they implemented him in. And nobody drafted him. And so guess what? He took a team-friendly deal with the Cowboys the first 3 years. And then guess what? On his very next deal, guess how much? We gave him a contract that made him the 7th highest guard in the NFL. You would have thought that he would have took a chance. He would have took less money, right? Think about this. Jason Witten, the vet minimum for him right now is $1.2 million. Guess what? He took $2 million. He didn't take no discount. Like Jason Witten could have took $1 million even. You know what I'm saying? On your first contract, you got to think this is what you've been working for. Your first deal, and most importantly, bro, you think at the end of this deal, you're going to be at 29, 28. He's looking at all the 29, 28-year-old guys who ain't making money like him.
Yeah, and Bob said
there's no way.
Pay 2 linebackers 18 to 19 million. You can't look at it like just the bottom line number. You have to look at it from a percentage of the cap. That's one.
You're going to have to, though.
I also know that they spacing out those contracts to where they trying to sign their own and their best.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have to. I mean, but Boss Cowboy, how would you, like I'm going to tell you like this. Minnesota got 2 wide receivers, one making $15 million and one making $16 million. But you know what happened? They didn't think that either one of them were going to be there. It just happened. And what are you going to do? You're going to lose them?
One was 2 years later, and that makes a big difference when the cap goes up $10 million every year. You see what I'm saying? At least $10 million. So the cap is also making room for you to be able to do that. So the cap itself could make it realistic. And then think of this, Bob. Most of our core players are going to be
signed.
They're going to be already signed. So we're not the type of team to where the Legion of Boom was, to where you have cap with all these players to pay. At this point, our offensive line mostly paid. You know, Dak getting ready to be paid. Cooper getting ready to be paid. You're going to pretty much have left over, you know, in terms of key core pieces. Jaylon, you might throw Jones in there, even though I wouldn't. And you might throw Liel in there. But the core that can really carry us the next 5 years, paid.
Yeah.
So when the cap increases by $10 million,
they're gonna be like,
that alone itself.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, who do you got to pay? D-Law said it best. D-Law said that's not my job to worry about how y'all pay everybody else. And then Stephen Jones, you start hearing Stephen Jones even say that about Dak. He said, well, yeah, you know, that's not, you know, like D-Law said, that's not their job to worry about. That's our job to make sure that we do that. You know what I'm saying?
And think about all the players we paid, West Coast and Bob and everybody else who listening, when we used to have to create money by restructuring deals. We are, for the first time going into next year, literally sitting on $80 to $90 million.
Yeah.
So we've already paid Zach Martin when we didn't have this. We paid Frederick when we didn't have this cap space. You know, we done made a lot of big payouts. We played Romo when we was real tight up against the cap. Mm-hmm. Now you saying we won't have the money when we sitting on 80 to 90 million? I mean, we can pay these guys without moving or restructuring anybody.
Yep.
Like some things I'm not going to panic about. When I see 80 to 90 million sitting in the bank and you know your team being used to budgeting around 10 to 20, I think we are. You know, in terms of paying one guy, I ain't tripping. And then the next guy you got to pay is like 2 or 3 years later.
But my question is, like, when people say he'll take less money, ask this question. Would you take less money at your job and there's statistics that rank you between other guys, and you can visibly see that your stats are better than that other guy? Why would you take less money if that's only to benefit the company you work for?
No.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, those are the expectation that people put on football players, because you guys know that they already have money. It's like, why would I take less money why even keep stats then? Like, that makes no sense. Why even keep stats?
Yeah.
But it's like, if you've seen CJ, and you got to think, the linebacker class, and a lot of these agents represent other agents. So just like Dak Prescott's agents waiting for Carson Wentz to get $30 million so he can be like, yo, if Carson Wentz gets $30 million before Dak gets contract, Dak, I believe, can go in there and say he wants 31. Why? Because Bro, Carson Wentz didn't even finish the season.
Yep.
He hasn't even finished the season.
Yep. And he swept him.
Like, come on, man. But that's why I be trying to. That's like the biggest point that we try to put out there is like, if I'm Jaylon Smith, I'm like, yo, I was told that I would never play football again. Like, yes, you guys took a chance on me, but I took a bigger chance on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the one getting up, running every day, trying to make sure I didn't have drop foot. It wasn't the Dallas Cowboys. It was Jaylon Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, because we can't look to fire these players just because we don't want to pay them. Cause that's
Exactly.
what I hear every contract. I don't care if it's Dak, Zeke, it's Tanks. Whenever it's time for these guys to get paid, I hear a lot of the fan base always say, well, get rid of them and get somebody else. It's like, no, if you can pay them, pay them. Because you send in a better signal to your team.
Yep.
You signal that if you ball out for Dallas, and especially if we bet on you from the beginning, we're going to make it our aim to pay you and keep you and keep you paid.
And that's what Stephen Jones said.
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what he said.
When he was negotiating with Tank, he said this. I mean, do we not have a history of not paying our own? That's what Stephen said. Like, why you using your shoulder to hold us hostage like we shady? No, we got a history of paying our own.
That's what makes me believe that Byron Jones might actually even get a contract. On that statement, I was like, damn, they might actually re-sign Byron Jones.
They might.
Because he's handling it the way they want him to handle it.
Right. And, that's just how it is. So, like, I mean, but my thing is, if we got the money and they the best linebacker in core, I'm not breaking it up.
Nope. And honestly, it's not even about like, I know we get tripped off of the numbers, but it's really not even about the percentage of, but it's not even about the how much money it's about how much is the percentage of cap. If you can find a way to get that percentage of cap down low, and then my thing is this, they say, oh, we're not gonna tie up, then what are you gonna do? There's no way you're going to draft a guy like LVE and not, because that's what you're basically saying is that you're going to because they've already said that they're already negotiating with Jaylon Smith. So when you say that you're not going to tie that money up, are you saying that you're okay and you're preparing yourself to walk away from LVE? You're not.
No.
So we're just talking. That's what I'm saying. You're just disagreeing just to disagree. And that's for anybody that's what it's going to come down to.
And I'm hearing some good statements. Like somebody said, I think it was my boy Alfredo. He said anything can happen. Jalen might not have a good year. Well, if you don't have a good year, then you can't command top market.
Absolutely, but we're not up here hoping that we're not up here thinking he's going to.
We're not hoping for that. I'm hoping for that dude to make us pay him. That's the same thing I said with Leo Collins. I say ball out to the point where we have to pay
we have to pay you.
The same thing happened to Tank.
Yeah.
Because I got a good memory. A lot of us don't. And I ain't saying y'all don't, because I know y'all got good memories. I'm talking about a lot of people in general. They don't have good memories. Like, I have a real good memory of what they were saying before Tank exploded.
War Daddy. They were not talking about Tank. They were talking about his replacement.
Was not talking about Tank.
Who were they talking about? When he said War Daddy, who was they talking about?
They were talking about Taco.
They were talking about Taco. Tank's replacement.
And so the only reason Tank got
Jerry's
paid
a gangster.
is they made him pay with
Jerry's gangster, man. Jerry's gangster.
He came out and I remember when I saw him break out that New York game, the first thing I said on one of his hustle plays, I said, Tank is out there trying to say, don't forget me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to kind of slow down. It just didn't. It kept going. So what we all should hope is that we should all hope, even Byron Jones, because obviously we've been on record for saying we good with trade him, but if he go out there and give him six interceptions,
my boy William says, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, oh my God, Boss Cowboy, you know what CJ Mosley's contract is? You know what he did to the market? He Aaron Rodgers'd it.
He did. See, I haven't checked.
And I'm going to tell you, when I say about Aaron Rodgers, basically what I mean is when a player is more important to their franchise than they are to the NFL, teams will tend to overpay.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's more important for Aaron Rodgers to be in Green Bay than it is for Aaron Rodgers to be in the NFL. Because Aaron Rodgers could go, if they didn't re-sign him, he goes somewhere else. Green Bay disappears.
Nobody cares about Green Bay.
They disappear, so you have to overpay. It's like the Lakers. The last 2 years of Kobe's career, man, Kobe Bryant was getting paid a top 2 player in the NBA, even though he was not playing like it. But what did he do? We sold out the stadium. We still had bills to pay.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that in consideration. C.J. Mosley, I'm gonna be honest with you, like my boy said, that's a nightmare, bro. That's a Aaron Rodgers contract when you're looking at it and like, how the hell?
Check that because you got to look at the percentage of the cap. So like West Coast did right on Aaron Rodgers' percentage of the cap was 19%.
And guess what it did for Russell Wilson?
For franchise quarterbacks, and it, even when they real good, because when you compare Aaron Rodgers to Drew Brees, they pretty much 1A and 1B.
Because Russell Wilson bought his mama a house, he need to buy Aaron Rodgers a house. Like you need to get him something.
Like but go look at Drew Brees' contracts before this last one. This last one was 14%. The only reason he did that because it was team friendly. But the ones before that was 16%. Don't tell me Aaron Rodgers was 19% better. I'm gonna tell you what I say about Aaron.
Absolutely, because Aaron. I mean, at that point he wasn't, man. Aaron Rodgers ain't been to the playoffs in what, 3 years? He ain't been in the playoffs since 2016. He went to the playoffs back to back. You know what I'm saying? And my boy Bob Heck says, you know what they did to the GM? Fired him. You absolutely right. The people that gave him that money, they fired him. They say, I trust Zeke on the field, not off the field. He needs the protective crew. I know that. I 100% believe that. Plus, Sean Lee will be gone next year. William says, we need M. Collins. Bob said the Jets paid way too much for Mosley. The GM lost his head, and they got fired off his butts too. And Ken says Jerry Jones had a big checkbook. Pay and he will fill your pockets up. But if you have to be on the field, hey, Jerry Jones already told you that's the number one thing. I mean, and my thing is this: players that the Cowboys bent on, like Jaylon Smith, and then he came out and actually balled, he's for sure getting paid. Because Jaylon Smith made the Dallas Cowboys look right. Like they made him look. They took a gamble in the world, and he came back and it made the Cowboys look right. Made Jerry Jones amongst billionaires look smart. So Jalen's for sure getting signed.
That's a great point, bro.
He's for sure getting signed. Just like Des Bryant made him look dumb.
I heard it, bro. So you said it fast, but I heard it, bro.
But you get what I mean?
I want to say it again.
Go ahead. You want me to say it? You say it again.
No, I want to say it.
Go ahead.
I just want to say it behind you.
Go ahead.
What he said, I'm going to say it slower, though. They bet on Jaylon in the second round. Jerry really wants to show I was right.
Yep.
Ego really rules this world. I believe that. You know what I mean? And so to West Coast's point, it's also just bigger than it just about his play. It's also about sending a statement. And that is not unlike us at all. To say, we bet on this guy, we was right, and we gonna put it out there in the world. But definitely since we're looking at linebacker, by the next time we have a show, I'm going to look at all those linebacker top contracts, and I'll be able to tell you, and West Coast will be able to tell you for sure if he's way above market or if he's in line with the market.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, from a scouting standpoint, just looking at the numbers, I'm actually hoping that he's above the market. Because I'm gonna tell you, if he's above the market, that means then just Jaylon Smith can trickle down to the 15s and the 14s. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if he's on market, we're screwed.
Yeah, if he's in market.
If he's in market, we're screwed, bruh. We're screwed. Because Jaylon Smith is gonna ball this year, bro. Him and LVE. And think about this, LVE didn't even start till week 4.
My boy Robert Cherry said we go pay that young boy.
Yeah, we about to play ball, and that's the thing. My thing, if they're playing, why do we have a problem with paying people who are playing?
I want to say that so bad.
Why is that?
I be negative. I'd be like, bro,
so who can we pay?
Want to fire everybody when it's time for them to get paid.
But you give them boss Cowboy. Who can get paid without someone disagreeing? I want to know who. Because Z can't get paid without y'all disagreeing. I think Amari Cooper's probably the only person on this team we could pay right now. And people wouldn't over, you know what I'm saying, just because of what he did for our season. But, bro, he's the only person that is going to get anonymity.
People said, let him walk, bro. It's like everybody.
Oh, that person need to be slapped themselves. Hashtag, I know we don't say it enough on here, but they need to slap themselves.
Bro, I'm being honest. I've seen it. For sure. For sure. I have seen it. No doubt.
But
so it's one of those things to where, like, look, I mean, you know, I thought everybody would kind of be like with us on paying the man, but I guess they not.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. But that's the thought, you know, we're saying that we're not going to tie $30 million into a linebacking core. Well, okay. Well, my question to you is, are you going to let LVE walk? No.
LVE is about, Jaylon Smith is the captain of this team, but LVE is about to be like, the guy that you go to the stadium and you see his picture? Like, that's who LVE is going to be. He's going to be the face of this defense.
I'm going to be honest, West Coast, and I'm going to say it just honest.
You get what I'm saying? Marketing-wise, LVE is killing it right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, he the future, hands down, baby Urlacher, no doubt.
Like, yeah, like the marketing and everything, there's too much money.
He's going to be somebody that's going to be easy to be paid.
But you get what I mean? There's too much money in endorsing an LVE for the Cowboys to walk away from. Too much. Especially if he paused. Well, go ahead, end it up.
One thing I wanted to say, I guess, as we kind of closing out, is I forgot. When you cut me out, bro, it just went out my brain, bro. That's your fault.
I salute to you, brother. All right, so OG Robert Cherry says, LOL, no BS, West Coast. Ken says, I'm thinking he above. Bob says, because you can't pay everybody, but you can pay everybody. That's like such a vague statement. You can't pay everybody. People only say that when they're talking about somebody that they don't want to pay. You can pay everybody. Everybody that they want to pay, they can pay them. They always do. Jerry Jones made this statement. There has never been a player that he didn't want to keep that he couldn't keep. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They can get you if they want you, especially when they're sitting on 80, 90 million.
Yeah.
When the last time, let me ask Bob a question. When the last time you even heard about us sitting on 80 or 90 million? They even heard it.
Bro, when was the last time one of our first round draft picks walked out of our I'm gonna ask this question. When was the last time the Dallas Cowboys
I remember, but go ahead.
When was the last time the Dallas Cowboys drafted someone in the first round and we did not re-sign them?
I remember what I was gonna say, man.
Go ahead. I'm gonna just ask you.
Clay has spoiled. Charles done pulled out the numbers. It's crazy stuff. Charles done actually pulled out the numbers.
Is that Charles?
Yeah, that's Charles.
What up, Charles?
He done posted the numbers, man. I wish I could go through it too, man. But anyway,
he says Khalil Mack outside linebacker, Von Miller, and think about this: Von Miller's contract's 3 years old.
Yep.
Miller, CJ Mosley at 19. CJ's an inside. You gotta look at him on the insides.
Inside, yeah.
Don't look at him on the outside because the outsides. Remember, they're gonna give the outside more money because they know they can get more sacks. Because they're damn near getting outside. They're almost damn near getting defensive end money. Like Khalil Mack and Von Miller, they're paying them for sacks.
Yeah.
They're paying them to get to the quarterback.
Yeah. But one thing that I know has happened to our fan base is Will McClay has spoiled us, bro. Like we're real life spoiled.
Like, you can just go draft anybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like when people saying replace Dak. Like we already got lucky to get Dak, and extremely lucky. Like I'm gonna put it like this. Just look how long it took us to go from Aikman to Romo. 17 quarterbacks. Go look
and we found him. Like accidentally.
Him in the trash. And the matter of fact, he could have been washed away if
49ers.
If my boy didn't do the cocaine, Quincy. Because they was looking at cutting Romo until Quincy did the cocaine. And then they was like, we might as well keep him. He was almost out of here. So it's like finding quarterbacks, finding linebackers, finding corners. Everything that we just say, go get another one. Finding receivers. We made that mistake with receiver by committee.
Yeah.
We can just get it somebody else.
And that cost us our first round pick to fix that.
Go get Hurts.
Like, are we not learning from our mistakes in 2019? I thought we were going to at least do that in 2019. If I said if there's one thing we can do in 2019, just learn from the mistakes from 2018. Are we not learning from our mistakes again, guys? Are we slipping back into it? I kind of feel like that's, you know what I'm saying?
And I do trust with.
Y'all forget about wide receiver by committee.
To replace these guys, but at the same time, like I don't want to put pressure on him to go find us 2 All-Pros back to back or Pro Bowlers because when you get rid of Romo, you lose a Pro Bowler.
And we weren't even supposed to have Jaylon Smith. The only reason why Jaylon Smith is on our team is because he got hurt. Like he ain't even supposed to be on our team.
He would have been top 5 on somebody else's team.
He would be in a Charger right now because the Chargers would have picked him. He would have been the first defensive player coming off the board.
Yep.
And he would have been in charge. If Bosa would have been there for us, we wouldn't have still took Bosa. We still took Zeke, but you know what I'm saying. But he would have been the first defensive player off the board. He wouldn't have got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then you accidentally luck on that. Then think about this. You paid for LVE because you drafted him. But you know what I'm saying? Like right now you're like, dang, I actually got lucky. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way and then think about this. If you don't pay Jaylon Smith, they already said they are. But I mean, it's just there's no way. The reason why they're really paying Jaylon Smith is because they know for a fact that if they let Jaylon Smith hit the market next year on a restricted tender, some team like my thing is this. Bob, and I'm gonna ask you this, Bob, because I know you. Bob, the reason why I'm gonna ask Bob because you one of the loyal. You a super duper loyal. You always be on here, so I know I can get a real answer from you. You know what I'm saying? So Bob, I'm gonna ask you this question, right? So Bob, I believe that Jerry Jones might not pay. He may not pay him $18 million, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that there's a team out there like the Jets who won't overpay for Jaylon Smith? I believe there is. Why? Because a team just paid for C.J. Mosley. So my thing is this. A team is going to see Jaylon Smith, and they're going to be like, whoa, bro, he's really only played in the NFL 3 years.
Let me ask Bob a question, too.
You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, bro, any team is going to – you don't want to match that.
Linebackers, $38 million. Let me ask you a question, Bob. What linebackers together is better than what we have?
And you are – thank you. You're not gonna break that up.
I'm serious.
You're not going to break that up.
Bro. So they already good, and they not even fully developed.
Yeah, you're not going to break that up.
I want you to answer, Bob, what linebacker crew is better than what we currently have right now? I'm dead serious.
And you're not going to break that up.
You're not going to break it up. If you got to pay him, you got to pay him.
Yep. And to be honest with you, that's why they're doing smart about it, and that's why Jaylon Smith's going to get a contract a year early.
I will hope they do it. I really
because and then think about this, bro. If you sign Jaylon Smith this year, do you guys know that whatever available free agent that's out there next year, we can go after him just on GP? Because our whole team will be signed basically. Like your core players, the players who actually give you your identity, they're all signed. They're all signed. You know what I'm saying? Your quarterback signed, your running back signed, your wide receiver signed, your damn near your whole offensive line signed, your 2 linebackers are signed. You can now, realistically, if you want to keep Byron Jones, you can keep him. You can give him $14 million if you want to. But you got to make sure that doesn't affect what you do in the future, man. Hey, man, we've been on here cooking for a little bit, man. Shoot, we going to make sure we hop back on here. Before we get up out of here, Boss Cowboy, man, let them know where they can find you at, man, your final thoughts.
And please go to my page. I got a new article out. We're going to eventually talk about it on the show, but all the breaking news kind of killed it. But we're going to talk about it because there's some good information on my page. I also got that Zeke's decision on my page as well. And that decision really kind of explains kind of the stipulations if he has any run-ins with the law enforcement. Because like we always try to show you the proof. We're not going to tell you the opinion. We're going to try to show it to you as well. That way you know we telling you what's factual and we're not making it up. So, yeah, go to my page for that, and that's Boss Cowboy Sports on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then my web page where you can read all my articles, especially the buy and hold strategy.
Yeah,
which
that's a good
is
one.
live today. So the buy and hold strategy is basically talking about the opportunity to hold certain troubled players that have at first, got in trouble over marijuana, but going forward they're not going to have that. So that article's on there as well as my latest article, and that's www.bosscowboy.com.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, I see some comments. I'm going to read a couple of more before we get up here. Thomas says Jaylon ain't going nowhere. Bob says, I agree. I'm saying that we're going to pay him, but just not 18. I'm going to be honest with you. I hope we don't have to pay him $18 to $17 million. But I'm just saying right now, if he plays, the cool thing about it is it's not going to hit the $17 or $18 million. I want to know why? Because our team is smart and they're thinking before that. So they'll get him on 16 if they can sign him this year. But if Jaylon Smith has a season like he did just like this, what's going to happen on that restricted free agent is after next year, he'll be able to go out there and look at deals, and the Dallas Cowboys will have 3 days to match 5 days. I'm sorry. They'll have 5 days to match that deal. So like say he goes out there and the Browns offer him a C.J. Mosley deal. The Dallas Cowboys will then be put in a position where they either have to match that deal or pay him more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't, and I'm going to tell you, another person is always going to value something of yours way more. Why? Because they ain't got it. And when I ain't got no linebacker, will I overpay? Like, look what Washington gave Landon Collins. Like, yeah, hell yeah, you'll overpay for it when you need it.
Yeah, when you need it.
When you need it and you think this is the player that can change your defense,
You're doing it.
you're going to do it. And the thing about Jaylon Smith is, oh, yeah, he just went back to college. When everybody else is getting in trouble at parties, he's in college, not partying, getting his degree. Why? Because his mama said, that's the guy you pay.
That's the guy you pay.
That's the guy you pay. You know what I'm saying? And we know they love the Wolf Hunter, man. He already got his name. He got a chant in the stadium. He ain't going nowhere. Like, he ain't going nowhere at all. All right, so you already know what it is, man. It's your boy West Coast. I'll be on here tomorrow. I'll try to get Boss Cowboy on here in the morning too. Make sure y'all go to Boss Cowboy Sports. I'm supposed to be doing something with Mark Holmes later on tonight. I will see what's up.